Hal here. I want to talk a little bit about our partnership with OnX Hunt. I've been using it for a while now, and if anybody knows me, they know I'm not a very techie person, but the OnX app is it's a real time saver. I remember the days when we poured over topo maps everywhere we was going to go and stuff, and I don't do that quite as much anymore. Where it's really helped me is scouting, whether it's deer scouting, a moose, or even turkey hunting in the spring, which I do. It really helps out. I don't have to spend as much time running around the truck burning up the gas. I'm just basically using my OnX. Got it on my phone. Don't even carry a GPS anymore. So I just download the areas where I'm going to be hunting, whether it's up north moose hunting, and I use it mostly on the satellite imagery. I like to see the cuts and the clearings and the turkey hunting, the hidden fields and stuff. But everybody's using it now, from the game wardens to land surveyors, and just a great tool. And with our partnership with OnX, if you use a code BWB, you're going to receive 20% off on your first premium or elite memberships. And you just go to onxmaps.com/hunt. You'll be glad you did. Good luck on the trail.
This is the Big Woods Bucks podcast. Come explore the big woods and timber in North America with your host, Maine master guide and deer tracking expert Hal Blood. Listen to Hal and co-hosts Lee Libby and Joe Cruzy as they unlock the secrets of big woods whitetails. Each episode will provide valuable insights into the tried and true system Hal has used for the last 40 years to scout, locate, and hunt mature big woods bucks. Listen and laugh as the crew discusses Hal's legendary adventures and learn how to apply a lifetime's worth of lessons from the big woods to your own hunting and outdoor adventures.
Welcome to the Big Woods Bucks podcast. I'm your host, Hal Blood. Sitting down here at Parlin Lodge with the boys. It's the end of the third week of deer season, Friday night. And just got done a flank steak supper and all the goodies. And what'd you guys have for sandwiches today?
I had the pork butt.
Pork butt, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you had a choice. Anyway.
I think it was corned beef for me.
Corned beef, nice. Yeah, sitting here with Joe tonight, and Stephen Schanz.
Hello.
And guide John Benway.
Howdy.
John will have a few stories here in a minute.
This John's first time on?
Yeah.
Yeah, first time on.
How'd you make it so long, John, without being on here?
I stay low.
Yeah.
Stay in the shadows. He gets his deer before the week's out, so he doesn't have to come in on Saturdays.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
right.
There was like 6 or 8 guide requests for John for next year today.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, we'll get him on the 4-week guiding plan next year.
Jeez.
He's not saying much, Hal. I don't know.
Yeah, he's thinking it over.
Yeah.
So he wanted some more work this year because he shot his deer the first day, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Resident Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Oh, Resident Day was
it?
The Saturday?
Yeah. That snowstorm.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Was there snow Saturday or Monday?
It was Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Monday.
The regular opener.
Yeah.
I thought so. Yeah. All right. Well, so we'll talk a little bit about beginning of the season. We were supposed to do this last weekend, but couldn't quite make it. I didn't get out of the woods in time.
Somebody had to be selfish and shoot a deer.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't so bad about shooting it because I shot it about 11, but it was time me and John helped me drag it out. What was we were eating supper at 8 o'clock at night, wasn't we?
Yeah, pretty much.
Before we fell into the bed.
Yeah. That was a long drag, to say the least.
Yeah. Jeez, it was
You've
brutal.
had an eventful couple of weeks, John.
Yeah, busy,
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God he was there for that drag, though, man.
Boy.
And then Mikey informed me that it is 5 miles to.
Oh, I have no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you drug it out 5 miles?
Yeah, we walked in 5 and drug it 5.
Came down to one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end, didn't know I was going to make another few steps.
There was
You
a
act
lot
like
of...
there wasn't a whole camp of guys here that would have helped you out either, you know?
Yeah. Well, I didn't originally think it was that far. I was thinking a couple miles ago, yeah, we'll slide it along. You know, we had the jet sled, so
Right.
sliding along on the road, he was in behind it was gated in there, and I couldn't get a hold of Forrester to get a way in, so I just figured it'd be an hour in and an hour out, but it weren't, because when we walked in, it was 2 hours to walk in, just dragging the empty sled. Yeah.
But it was close to that road, though.
Yeah, it was only 100 yards. Luckily, it was only 100. I would have drug it to a road anyway, but it was only 100 yards from a road that I could have drove to, you know.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know how, all the places that buck was all the time, and it ended up killing him right there, you know.
Yeah.
Hindsight, it was a shorter way out, but
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I overshot the road.
Yeah, when we come out, I kept looking at the Onyx there, and I didn't know there was a new road built. It was like a cut across road, but I didn't know where it hit the main road. And there's a way to get up. It's ditched. You can't drive it, but there's a way to get to this cutoff. But I didn't know where it hit the main road, so I looked at the Onyx. I said, well, it's probably not any shorter. But once on the way in, when we found where it was, I'm like, that's got to be shorter. So I looked.
How much would it cut off?
I think it cut a mile off.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the end, when we come out, John volunteered to take the deer that way while I went, because our trucks were out at the gate on the main road. So
Yep.
I didn't run, plodded
Hobbled.
along. I hobbled out
Yeah.
and grabbed his truck. I had all these visions of getting it on the hood of the Ram Charger and all that, but those were gone long before
Yeah, I
that.
noticed it went in back of John's
Yeah,
truck.
yeah. So I
The
drove.
buck hauler this year.
Yeah,
That truck.
And actually, where Hal was going to meet me, I had overshot that, and I looked at my Onyx. I'm like, something's not right here. And I looked down. I'm like, oh God! Backtrack a half mile with a 197-pound buck.
yeah.
Yeah.
Smokes.
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah.
He was so enthusiastic. He walked right by the side road because it was pitch black, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he walked by that and had to turn around and drag it back another half
Yeah.
a mile.
Did you
Oh,
ever talk to
man.
Bill after that?
No, I haven't heard from him.
Huh.
Yeah, I only talked to Mike. That's why Mike said you when he got here. I was mad at him, you know, because Mike passed me on the main road.
Which Mike?
Old guide Mike,
Oh.
Yeah.
and
We needed him.
we needed him, but he wasn't in his truck. I didn't recognize, you know. He just told me that after the fact.
He subcontracts his dragon. He would have gone
Yeah.
and got someone.
I
Well,
got to
he'd
talk
already
to
been-
him after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
That was a funny video he did.
yeah,
It's a good memory though, dragging that buck out
yeah.
middle of the night.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So tell us
Yeah.
the story.
We ain't got time tonight, I don't think.
Too much other stuff to talk about?
Yeah, I'll tell it quick. I'll do the short version because if you haven't seen it, it's Brian got right on it. I got the footage to him, and he's got it on YouTube already, so you can watch it if you want. But the short version we had a little snow up high, not much, and it was not great snow. It was half crunchy because, you know, it had thawed and froze and stuff, you know, so it wasn't really good snow, but it was something anyway to look at. So I just had an idea about cutting straight cross country and looking for a track, and I went probably over a mile and a half, where I cut a good buck track. There was plenty of other tracks, and there was different age tracks, and I picked him up. I actually picked him up. I was just trying to cut it as quick as I can, so I come out on this old winter road, grass winter road there, and I was walking down that because it was the direction I wanted to go, so I was just walking it. Sure as heck, this buck come up out of the bottom, and he walked the road. And that's where I picked it up, and I could tell when I first looked at it, I said, that's made pretty late in the night because it was warm the day before and things had softened, and this was all made after it had froze back up in the night and stuff. So I said, well, that's it right there. I'll get on that one. And he was just off looking for does, like it was, I think it was what was the date that day last Saturday? It was like the 11th or something. So
yeah, it was 10th or 11th, I think.
Yeah, so just before it's really heating up good, but he was searching, laying down scrapes and checking every doe track he come to. He'd go in and follow them around, see what they were doing, and cut back out. But it made it kind of difficult because the way the snow is, you get into that when it's half snow and there's none under the trees and in the grass, you can barely see it, and you got to really pay attention because, you got to sort through all that mess. So you got to really circle. I just kept circling it, and that first time he went in there was, I don't know how many, there was a little bunch of does. I don't know how many, but I ended up jumping a couple of them because I saw the tracks running out of there. And then I finally figured out, I made a bunch of circles to cut his track, and I kept cutting it again and cutting it, but I realized he didn't go down out of there. He had to have gone back up. So I cut back up to the grass road, and I started walking that, and I only went like 20 or 30 yards, and there's his track again. He'd went down in there and messed around, come right back up, and continued down the road the way he was going, and he went a little ways, 100 yards or so, and then he started up higher, and I said, oh, that's pretty good. He's getting up a little higher with his, at least there's enough snow, to keep moving along on. But he didn't stay up there that long, and he kind of just went cross country and got on. Every time he'd see a doe track, he'd start following it. And he was funny because he was headed like basically due west, went quite a ways, another, I don't know, mile probably. And then he abruptly turned right back downhill about a couple of 100 yards, and then he headed right back east, like right below where he went. It was funny. And then he picked up some more doe tracks and he went down lower, and then he started it was getting worse in the snow. And
were those tracks close enough that maybe he picked up wind from them, and that's what turned them? Because I had that a couple times.
Oh, yeah, they can smell the track. Yeah. But I think he just followed. When he abruptly turned, he'd been following a doe and a lamb, and he just probably said, they ain't ready, no good. So he had some place in his mind he was going. So he turned back and headed down where he was going. And there was more deer lower than there was higher. So I think he knew that. So he was kind of staying a little bit lower there. Anyway, he started along again and get down into this kind of a thicket. It was old beaver bogs looked like it was cut in there like, I don't know, 30 years ago or something. And then there was old beaver bogs. It was all, it was either there was spruce and cedar in there, but there was no snow underneath. It was bare, completely bare. And then what wasn't bare under the spruces, it was grass. All them old bogs, that grass in them and stuff. So the only thing I could keep going on was I'd find another scrape he made. I kept looking. There was in them old places like that, there's usually little trails that they follow. And I kept circling down there, and I'd find another scrape, and keep pecking on it, try to figure out which way he went. And finally, I was getting lower, and I said, the only way out of this is if he came back up. Because I spent a lot of time in one spot not getting very far. So I cut back up so I could get back in where it was hardwoods at least, and there was a little bit of snow. So I followed there was a little trickle brook that went down in that was made them old beaver bogs, and was a little brushy at first, and I got up and it started opening up in the hardwoods, and I'd seen a couple other deer tracks there, and just kept working up, and I kind of got right where it started to be more, not brush, just more hardwood, and it's like I tell people, it's 2 points connect, and I was looking ahead all the time, and when I looked up, he's right up on a ridge about 100 yards, and he's just walking with his head down there, just walking along, and I had about 2 seconds to think of, decide what I was going to do there, and I didn't know if it was the one I had been tracking or not at the time. I didn't really care. I could see it had a beam that wasn't like spindly like a young deer, and then he looked square like a sheet of plywood. I said, that's a pretty good buck right there. So I got the gun going, and he disappeared though, and he was headed to the left, and he disappeared behind some stuff, and then I snuck ahead about 20 feet. There was a tree there, and I just snuck ahead to see if I could gain a little ground. I was thinking I was going to have to sneak right up. I thought he was going to be disappeared up there, but when I stepped out by that tree, I could still see some movement in there, and he turned back to the right, and he stepped out of the thicket, and he was like kind of broadside, headed the other way, and I had one opening between 2 maple trees up there, and I just swung into that, and when he hit that, I touched it off, and he hit the ground like a rug was drug out from under him. So I started running up there, thinking, I didn't like that when they do that. When they do that, sometimes they're just nicked in the spine or something.
Or shot the antler off, like...
Yeah, anything
Brian's
like
guy.
that. So I started running up there, and I got in the mud and was wallowing in that. Got up over the hill, because when he dropped, I couldn't see him because he was over the crest of the hill, And when I crested up the hill, there was a doe standing there. And she blew and took off, so I didn't see her at first, but that's what he was doing. He was just following that doe, I guess. And then I'm looking around, where's him? Because he ain't there, because I got up to where I saw, where I shot. And I could see in this thicket, it was real thick in there, and I could see the outline of his back end, but really nothing to shoot at. And I'm like, oh, he's on his feet again. So he dropped, but he got on his feet. That ain't a good sign. So I didn't move. I waited to see what his move was going to be, And then he just started walking away, and I could tell he was pretty sick. His head was kind of down, and he was kind of hobbling along there. And so then I moved to the right. I could get an opening there, and I moved to the right. And he stopped again about, 40 yards there. And all I could see was a head of his shoulders there and his neck there, and put it at the base of his neck and let him have it. That was it, the end of it. So it was a good hunt anyway.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah.
So you think the doe's what stopped him, because you caught up to him, obviously. And
when he got down before I shot him, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got down. He found,
evidently
he found a doe that was willing to hang around with him, and they must have, because that was only probably 150 yards above where I come out of them old bogs.
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm assuming he rousted her out of there and was headed up the hill,
Yeah.
It's the only thing I could think of, but there weren't enough snow to retrace anything. I usually like to retrace the events, but there weren't enough snow to do that with, so... But, yeah, anyways.
You said you thought it was about 100 yards, that first shot?
Oh, yeah, it was a good 100 up
Good
there.
poke?
Yeah, good poke up there. Well, I got the original bead on my pump there, and they're pretty good-sized bead, and it covered about half of him from top to bottom. So.
Yep.
See,
Yeah.
at 100 yards, I would have a hard time deciding whether I'd want to shoot or not without looking at him through something. That's why I always, either scope or binoculars. Like, you didn't look at him with anything, just naked eye, and you saw him and shot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a few deer. No,
I know that. I'm saying
No, I wasn't
eyes,
gonna.
I don't.
I just had. Oh no, I could see him fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could tell that the antler was thick. It wasn't spindly like a young one. I could see all that. I knew it wasn't a big rack. I could tell that right off. I knew it looked kind of compact and a little heavy, But the deer itself whenever they look square, that's a older buck. The younger bucks, they don't look like that. They look thinner, And
He was really square.
he was real square, short and square,
SpongeBob.
When it was funny when I walked up to him there, I'm like, wow, that's a nice big one, and because he had them thick legs, and stuff, heavy bones, like an older deer, and the base of his antlers were pretty heavy too, and so I said, geez, yeah, he's going to be pretty good, and his neck was heavy and his chest and stuff, and then I got down kind of handling him, then I go, boy, this thing ain't very long, He's just real short, Shortest one I ever shot, and he fit. That's just a regular size jet sled, ain't it?
Yeah.
Or just your regular old average size jet sled there. He fit in the jet sled with just his front of his neck and his head hanging out, you know. That's pretty short for a deer.
Right.
He was a good foot shorter than even an average length deer,
Well, that jet sled got some work this afternoon.
Did it?
And I remembered that. I kind of compared today's buck with yours, how they fit in the jet sled. And I was 5 pounds off on this one, 160-pound buck. I figured it was 165.
That one looks short too, though, hanging from the pole.
Stubby.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice rack too. I mean, you said 5-pointer, so I was riding over expecting something a little compact. I had a real nice rack on it for
it's a
5-pointer. It had full beams.
Yeah,
beautiful buck.
2-year-old buck. So
So that's a first
full beams.
2-on-1 guided both deer the same day.
Yeah,
I was
Good
fortunate.
job, John.
I had good hunters.
It's good guide.
Yeah.
Good guide.
I just drove them around.
You were just a chauffeur, right?
Yeah. Get out here. I'll see you tonight.
Yeah.
I think there was more to it than that.
Yeah. A little bit of groundwork, but
Were both the bucks shot in the same area? How far apart were they, as far as time-wise? And distance.
One was 9:30 this morning. We brought him out. Of course, registered him, hung him. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this.
Oh, so you came all the way back and
Yeah.
then went back out?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And part of the experience, we stopped at the Northland for just one. And
Truth comes out.
yeah.
So
And
proud of you,
You
John.
probably got
So
your
proud of
arm
you.
twisted into it, right?
Oh yeah. But it's funny, we went back to the spot and we had radios. We had prearranged we'd be back in like say 3.5 hours. And we got back up in the woods. I was just putting the seat back to have a little nap, and Garrett came on the radio. You guys going to help me out or what?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Nice.
So yeah, everything worked out today.
Both off stands or still hunting? Or?
We were still hunting on the first one, and the other one, he was on stand.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, good day in the woods. They all are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been an eventful first few weeks, really. I mean, for the number of
How many did we get this week? We hung a lot on the pole this week.
There's been 6 on the pole this week out of the lodge.
Yeah.
Right?
Then the first week they killed 2 and missed 3. I think the first week they killed.
Seems like so long ago now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It does.
And we've had about 15 hunters a week, so that was a good showing. We should have had 5 the first week and then 5 the second week. They killed 2 the first week, missed 3, and then the second week they killed 3 and missed 2.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
In the first week, I mean, the first couple days, well, aside from John, you got yours, but I think for most of us, we couldn't even find a track for the first couple days.
We thought it was going to be a lot better than it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was early. They don't move around. The big ones
first snow.
especially don't move around. The first snow, but also it's just early anyway, you know.
I think, who was it? It was Rob, Chris's nephew. He had Hal's book all earmarked and all things highlighted and stuff.
All the answers, huh?
Yeah,
He came over that night and he opened up the section in the book where Hal said everyone gets excited in the first snowstorm, but in actuality, nothing really moves.
Yep. Yep.
And that was the case.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's going hot and heavy now. I
Yes.
think it's going to be.
Yeah. Well, the whole season's early. We're really just
A week early.
That's right.
This is the beginning. Right now, it's just heating up, the beginning of the rut. So,
So fourth week in muzzleloader will be good.
Yeah, muzzleloader this year is going to be. It's all in November.
Right.
Usually, it goes right into December a little bit, but next year it will. It'll flip. It flips back. Deer season flips ahead next year again.
Right. Yeah.
So
That first deer this morning, that doe about run us over, and that little spike was hot on her, grunting too. I stopped him with a grunt. He was all business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was trying, but
he was trying.
yeah, she wouldn't. She didn't want no
No.
part of him.
No.
She was waiting for
You
the
did
big
her a
boy.
favor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She was probably thankful.
yeah. Well, all right. Let's get. We want to have a couple of the guys on that shot their deer and tell their story a little bit. So we'll get your guys on there first so they can
Yeah.
tell that, and then we'll get Steve on to tell his story about his buck the first day.
That was a big buck this week, wasn't it?
Yeah,
So far?
we'll talk a bit about that pretty quick. But yeah,
Yeah.
where are they?
Want me to go get it, my guys?
They're right
Yeah,
there.
if you got buck stories, come on.
So what do we do?
Don't trip over any cords.
Open up to somebody.
They're
Yeah.
everywhere.
The father and son. Sit down, Jeff. I can't hold your hand on this one.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to get up to the mic there.
Okay.
All right.
There you go.
Raise your right hand and state your names.
Jeff Pelletier.
Garrick Pelletier.
All right.
They raised their hands, Al.
Okay. Everybody saw that.
Yeah.
We got that on film. All right. So your guy John just warmed us up a little bit to your story there. So,
Yep.
so Jeff, you got to start out because you shot the first one this morning.
Am I starting at the beginning of the week or just today?
Oh well, yeah. You can talk about it. You said you weren't too talkative, but go ahead.
I'm not too talkative.
Yeah. You got the floor. Go ahead.
All right.
Talk about the week if you want.
Well, so I'm a guy that's been hunting southern New Hampshire pretty much all my life, and tight woods. And it was a pleasure coming up here to hunt the big woods. And John's the man to be with.
Yeah.
To hunt the big woods. We did a lot of tracking, a lot of still hunting, and saw a lot of deer. The bucks were hard to come by, and today he was a big part of making it happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
So how many deer did you guys see all week?
I think between
Yeah, between the three of us, it was like 27 deer.
yep.
That's pretty good showing.
That's a
Yeah.
lot.
Really,
Every
really,
day we were seeing them.
yeah, I really didn't see antlers till today. So,
Well, you didn't want to spoil it and get one early, did you?
no. I
for
tell
the
you what,
adventure.
it was just too much fun being out there, and it was a good hunt. I mean, you were out there. As soon as we left breakfast, we were in a truck, hit the woods, and I think we were late for dinner just about every night. So we hunted it hard.
Yeah, right
And,
till dark.
Yep, that was the plan, and it paid off. So John gets a lot of credit for sure. Great guide.
Yeah.
Great guy, period.
Yeah.
Doesn't get any better than 2 deer on Friday. You know, you get the whole week of hunting and get the experience, and
Yeah.
Right.
And
then to be able to enjoy it together,
we got to visit.
partying at the Northland.
I was going to say we got to visit the Northland twice today, so that was a bonus.
You guys are back again?
And I'm just about ready after this to do my shot of tequila at the bar here.
There you
So,
go.
All right.
Nice.
Is John in on that, you think?
He said he was going
Absolutely.
to. Yeah, he said he was going. He said he doesn't like
Whether he likes it or
tequila.
not.
He said he doesn't like tequila, but he's going to partake. So,
All right.
yep.
Sounds good. So you shot your buck at 9:30 or something?
Yeah, 9:30. We just we left the area we were hunting, and we decided to cross the stream and just check out some new terrain over there. And it paid off. Within a half hour, we were going up a hill, and a doe just like she was charging us came barrel assing down the hill, and there's a little buck right on her tail, and she saw us probably 25, 30 yards, and she just cut left, like hard left, and the buck was doing the same thing, and John gave a grunt, and he just stopped dead in his tracks, and he just gave me that 1 or 2 seconds I needed, and just put the crosshairs on the right spot, and it was over. Didn't go far, and then it was I think it was the easiest drag of John's life. It ended up dropping, oh my God, probably within 100 feet of a road. We didn't realize that the road was that close up ahead, and the buck ran towards the road and dropped. So
Perfect.
Yep,
Nice.
got it out, and the drag took all of about a minute and a half.
He's a seasoned dragger.
But
anyway.
I will add, he ended up walking about a mile and a half to go get the truck while I babysat the deer. So
Yeah.
he goes above and beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah. So then he said you guys went to town, partied a little bit.
Yeah, lightly. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we only had one because we had to go back and see what Garrick was doing, and
Yeah.
So you were still in the woods then?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So you were in stand all day?
yep.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So they got back.
Yeah, so after we had before we even went into the woods, me and John talked about if they shoot or if anyone shoots, we'll get on the radio a half hour after, just make sure nothing runs by. And so half hour after they shot, I got on the radio because it wasn't where they were planning on sitting in the morning. So I was I wasn't sure if it was them, but I knew that they were planning on going that way, so I was super excited thinking it was them, and then half hour later got on the radio, confirmed it was them, so I was all pumped, and I was about to get ready to pack up all my stuff and help him drag out, and my dad's like, yeah, just stay there. It dropped right next to the road. By the time you get here, we'll already have the thing out of here. So I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll stay. And so as Hal always says, I just finished eating my sandwich about 12:30 in the stand and hanging out. Packed my saddle back in the woods to the spot I found early in the week, just loaded with signs, scrapes, scat, tracks, everything. It had it all. It was kind of right where a clear cut, a bog, and some mature woods all met, and just screamed big bucks in there, just deer in general. And we jumped quite a bit throughout the week in there. So about 1 o'clock at the top of the hill, I hear some leaves crunching, and I get turned around and hear this thing comes nose to the ground. And as soon as he got within 20, 30 yards and cleared of the brush, I let him have it, and he dropped about 20 yards later. Yeah, and we had it planned out after they were supposed to come back roughly between 1 and 2 o'clock. I told them, I'm like, chirp me on the radio when you guys get here. If I answer, I got one down. If not, I haven't, and I'll be there till dark. And I heard something on the radio, whenever they turned it on, it made some sound. And so I let them know, hey, I got one, and they didn't believe me. I'm like, you think I'd be talking this loud if I didn't get one?
Nice.
Yeah.
So did you have it gutted out when they got there?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had it gutted out, and I dragged it about 100 yards, up the steepest part of the hill, and it was all muck and leaves. So I was slipping, eating crap the whole way up the hill. So
So you decided to wait.
Basically, while we were having a beer, he was gutting his deer, so that worked out great.
Nice.
But
That's great.
John saved the day with jet sled, and once
Yeah.
the jet sled was in there, and that thing got its work this week.
That's like a superhero at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Saved the day.
John's the man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
Good deal.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So
Father
you
and
guys
son
are looking
getting-
forward to next year already.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I love it up here.
Yeah.
And I got to give a shout out to the lodge here. I thought I was going to lose a few pounds here. It's like, oh my God, the cooking here and just the people, life in the bar here.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. Awesome.
Glad
Yeah,
you
like-
guys are enjoying it.
We are
Team
enjoying
effort.
it. We're
Yeah,
enjoying.
we've done hunts before where we come up north and it's like we're doing our own cooking or going to a restaurant and like having that cooking here, like where you just
Yeah.
you wake up, it's there, you come back, it's there. It's like
Yeah, you
can't put a price
beat it.
on that.
Yeah.
All you got to do is hunt, right?
Yeah,
Yep,
that's
that's
it,
it.
literally.
That's
You get a
basically
week?
that's the way it went down this week. We're just hunting.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all you got to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Good deal.
Hey, Hal here. Just wanted to tell you we're excited about our partnership with Minus 33. Minus 33 specializes in merino wool base layers for outdoor enthusiasts, from tops and bottoms to hats, socks, gloves. And our gear is going to keep you warm and comfortable no matter what adventure you're on, especially those big woods ones. We're a fifth-generation family, owned and operated, a New Hampshire woolen textile manufacturer. They have over 106 years of woolen expertise, and they started manufacturing woolen socks, the Mountain Heritage ones, in New Hampshire in 2018, with the idea that a quality product, affordable pricing, and can be worn and loved from season to season, no matter what your experience level or skill is, so no one should feel uncomfortable or ill-prepared in the outdoor community. Having a reliable gear is one of the first steps towards a lifetime of passion or whatever activity it is. And my caveat to that is you got to wear your woolies. Cotton is death.
As you all know, Big Woods Bucks is devoted to promoting the best equipment for tracking and still hunting the big woods. Part of that equation for success is the sights that sit on your hunting rifle. We've chosen Skinner Sights as the company to produce our custom-built BWB Tracker Series peep sight. It's constructed of solid steel, has our custom ghost ring, and was co-developed by some of the best trackers in the world. To get yours, go to bigwoodsbucks.com and click on the Optics tab.
Hey, Hal here. Finally got some good news for all you. Our jackets are finally in. It's been a long process, but we got them done and got them right with all our new features and stuff in them. So some of the new features we added was a game pouch in the back you can access from inside with dividers in it. It's just like the original one. Mine's the original one, not the new one. It's got your slash front pockets where you can get in and get at your GPS or whatever you carry in your front ones. They're all lined with, the pockets are lined with Microtech fleece, so it's nice and warm on your hands when you put it in. Microtech's fleece. Got your slash pockets here. Just 100% wool, virgin wool. I think it's 100% virgin wool, but it's 85% wool with some nylon to make it stronger. Tight woven. And the vest, I don't have the vest on it. The vest snaps on, your orange cape comes with it. And we're going to have the green checkered jackets come in 22-ounce wool, and we have plain green, forest green, same color as our pants that are coming, and those are in 18-ounce, a lighter wool, so you can have a 3-season jacket or a 4-seasons jacket. And the pants will be coming in a couple weeks, and just in time for deer season. So get them ordered up and we'll get them shipped right out to you. Good luck on the trail.
Hey folks, Rick Labby here from Big Woods Bucks. I'm here today to tell you about our new packs. This is our new small pack, which the first time I saw it, Chris showed it to me and I said, that's the nooner, because that's the perfect pack if I'm getting on a buck track at noon. And it'll hold the sandwich, your water, a little bit of gear. It's virgin wool, made in USA, waterproof resistant, has a liner on the inside. It's a great pack. This pack, this is our newest large pack, which when I used to carry the older pack, I always wore suspenders because it bothered my hips a little bit. So we designed one with shoulder straps, and this is a great pack. It takes the weight off your hips, puts it onto your shoulders. It's got a GPS pouch right here in the top you slide in. Same deal, it's water resistant on the inside, got that liner. It's a perfect pack. So I go to bigwoodsbucks.com, get yours today, and I'll see you on the track.
All right. We got to get Stephen on here now to talk about his first day buck.
Stephen and whoever, there was one of you
Blake.
guys.
Yeah, we'll get
Had an
Stephen.
encounter
We'll get
too, right?
Stephen Blake on here.
All right.
Thanks for having us on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, thank you,
All right,
guys.
Pleasure.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Yeah, Blakey's got a little story too.
I didn't know this was going to happen.
Put you
That's
on
the
the
way we like
spot,
it.
didn't we?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Gentlemen.
Yeah. The Rhode Island crew. We got 2 Rhode Island crews. You all know each other, though, right?
Yeah, there 8 of us.
8 of yous.
Yep.
That's half the state of Rhode Island, ain't
Were
it?
all 8 of you here last year, or just 4 of you?
There was 3 of us here last
Me,
time.
Oh, okay.
And his brother Angelo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to be right up next to the mic.
Oh, I didn't know Angelo was your brother.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, we
Oh.
look alike.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, so this is your second year here, and you guys are just doing your own thing.
Yep.
Getting a little advice on where to go, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Every time, that definitely paid off for us this year, for sure.
Yeah, you'll learn some areas. I tell people, first year you got to learn some spots, and, when you're not guided, and kick around, find out what you like, and keep at it, right?
Yep, that's right.
So this year you went in to one of your hot spots you found last.
Yeah,
Who
we-
shot at the one last year? You?
Yeah, actually, we were here the 3rd week of last year. On Thursday, I had shot and missed.
Oh, so you got a habit of that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
twice I've done that now. Now this year was the second time. This one hurts a little more this year.
Yeah.
But and then on Friday, it's tough to be certain, but I think I had a big boy jump in front of me at 30 yards, and I think that's the one Steve got it done on this year. That
Yep.
was,
Look like the same one.
yeah, it was only about 400 yards away from that spot, so we think it's a good chance.
Yeah. So you sent him right in there after him this year, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Three
We
of
were
us
all
were
in there. Yeah,
Yep.
we were all trying to spot him that day.
Yeah, we were about a quarter mile away from him each, so we were
Yeah.
all right in that area.
So what's your story then?
So, yeah, we were in that spot that we were in last year, just looking for that buck that we think he is. And I was getting a little bit discouraged just because there wasn't too much snow on the ground. And so I was looking at my GPS to kind of figure out my way a little bit more. And as soon as I took out my GPS, of course, is when I started hearing something in the leaves over this ridge. But I knew it was a deer because it was moving pretty quick. And so I was just looking over the ridge, waiting for it to, horizon. And it was a doe, a nice sized doe. And the buck was right on her heels, like right on her. And he didn't want anything. He was just focused on her. They actually did like a big 40-yard circle around me. And I was moving a little bit to get into a decent position where I knew I could shoot. And I was making some noise in the leaves too. And he never looked at me. He didn't know I was there. And so the doe, I waited for the doe to go through this opening. And I was waiting for him to go through that same opening that she went through. So I got on my knees, and he did what I knew he was going to do. Took my shot basically perfectly broadside. Second shot I think was also broadside. Third shot maybe slightly quartering to, and then he was on the ground at that point, but he was still looking at me, so I just put one more shot into him. But he was dead probably within about 15 seconds of the first shot. So
Yeah.
easy recovery, no blood trail that I had to, try to track him or anything like that.
What time was that at?
About just after 8 a.m.
Yeah, like 8:15. Yeah.
First day.
Yep.
Yeah.
2 hours into it.
And that was your first year, right?
That was my first year ever, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
212
12 pounds, yeah.
10 point.
10 pointer. 10
Wow.
I told him he's got nowhere to go now.
pointer. I know. It's going to be a long
That was
time.
a beautiful
Yeah.
deer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I just waited for these guys. They weren't too far away, maybe
quarter
mile away, because we were in the same piece of wood. And they were all soup for me. I had to wait for them to come there because I have no experience, gunning out a deer. So Blake here showed me the ropes, but I got my hands dirty.
Yeah.
So that was good. It was a good learning opportunity for me.
You did very well.
The biggest part of the story actually was dragging that deer out of the woods. I mean, it was 1,000 yards, but it was up and down, lots of muddy, deep pits.
Yeah, it wasn't a clear path at all.
Yeah, it was tough. It was a good bonding experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 4 of you?
It was four
All
of us.
4 of you? Oh, okay.
Yep.
That makes it a little easier. 4 young guys.
So you all knew, everybody knew it was him shooting?
Yeah, when I first heard the shots, I thought it could have been another one of us, Ben. But then we have these Garmin rhinos that we can basically see right on a map where everybody is.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And
those are illegal in Maine.
oh, I didn't know that. but I looked on it, and right away I knew it was Steve right away. It popped right up, and after hearing 4 shots, I was maybe a little nervous, thinking 4 shots, maybe it was one that jumped up, and because it was loud in the woods, especially that early in the morning, all the leaves are frozen and stuff, and I was nervous for him. But he called me probably 2 minutes after that, and he's like, I got a 10-pointer down, and it was unbelievable. Absolutely. We were all running there, me and Angela.
I can only imagine all them running through the woods.
We got to him in
slow motion.
Like not even maybe a little more than 5 minutes. Me and Angela, we tripped, falling on the ground right in front of him. I mean, it's just the absolute giant on the ground.
You weren't hugging, were you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That's a good time when you're all there to share it together.
Yeah, I mean, to see
lot
a
of
deer
fun.
like that on the ground is crazy. We're from Rhode Island, so,
Right.
I mean, that's just the absolute giant.
Yeah. You having it mounted?
Oh, yeah. Actually, the Brian Donahue from, do you know the name, Blake?
Is it
Northeast Custom?
Yeah.
I saw the mounts he has here in the lodge, and they're just so impressive that I knew I wanted him to do mine too.
Yeah.
So I just messaged him on Instagram, and he said, yeah, he's going to be up this way anyway. So me, Blake, and the other 2 got him caped out, and he came up this way and picked up the cape for us. So it was really nice.
So we didn't even get to hang on the pole, but one night I
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
We were hoping to have a whole string of them on the pole there, but everybody get one, then they'd take care of it.
Yep.
That's all right.
Yeah, so 6 this week, and it might have been 7, right?
Yeah, let's hear your story now, Blake.
Yeah, it's not a good one. It's not as good as Steve's.
You're getting repetitive, but at least you're seeing them, right? You're seeing the big ones.
I've had 2 good chances 2 years in a row now, but he, even though he had already gotten his deer, he was just poking around with us. He was going to mostly be doing some grouse hunting, and the 4 of us, we split up, and we went up a pretty steep mountain. It's pretty steep to get in there fairly quick. It's not very gradual at all, and it was a nightmare getting in there, but I'd say right around, 7:30?
That sounds about right.
About 7:30, it's quiet. I'm going through there, and I'm like, this might be a good spot to catch a deer. It was just opening, and there was a opening. I had run across a couple of scrapes already, and it's just like a good spot to catch a deer. And then all of a sudden, I heard a commotion down below me, a little below me on the mountain, and there was a knoll about 40 yards away from me, and I was like, if I don't get to that, I might never even see them. So I ran up to the knoll, and thinking they would come down below me. And then all of a sudden I look pretty much dead even with me on the mountain, and all of a sudden I see a tail flash and a big rack flash by pretty quickly. I didn't get a good look at it. Steve did about 10 minutes before, I found out later. And I'm grunting at him, trying to get him to stop, and I've got my gun up, and he stops for that 1.5, 2 seconds that you need, and there was a lot between me and him, but I had to try to get it in there, and it just didn't get through. And there was no sign of a hit or anything, and we looked up there for a while, but there was no hit.
Yeah.
Steve saw him about 10 minutes before. A doe had come in a little lower on the mountain, and the buck had come in, a minute or 2 after her?
Yeah, so I think I might have bumped the doe because I just saw her tail go up and take off. So I went to where I saw her, even though I was just grouse hunting, but I just wanted to see what the sign looked like over there anyways. And about 2 minutes after I was standing there, I just heard that again. I'm like, oh, this is going to be good again.
This is
But obviously, so then I saw. I mean, he was a big buck. He was.
Was he big in yours?
The rack at least was thicker than mine. I think he was. I didn't have a great amount of time to look at what he had, but I would say maybe 8 to 10 points on him. But he was a big buck, and so he was coming from my right, going to my left, and I knew that Blake was about 500 yards
about
to
500 yards, yeah.
my left, and so I just said, okay, well, I'll just sit here and let Blake do his thing. I'll text him and let him know that something's making its way over to him, and sure enough, 10 minutes later, I heard bang. And so I got excited because I knew there wasn't really anybody else that could have shot.
Yeah.
And I called him, and he told me that, he had to punch through a lot of stuff, so he wasn't sure. So that was that.
Yep.
Well, you're a big buck magnet anyway.
Yeah, that's 2 good chances. I really can't complain.
I think both of them are.
That's why I'm always hot on his heels, just waiting for the bucks to come over to him.
Yep. Maybe Steve will get that one next year. That's what happened this year.
Yeah. So you guys must be hooked on this big woods hunting, huh?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's very tough, but I mean, what you can get out of it,
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's just unbelievable.
Yeah, all week there's been bare ground, but still there's been bucks on the pole every day,
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Just heating up, too. The next couple of weeks.
Yep.
Rifle and last of rifle, Thanksgiving, and muzzleloader should be good. Yeah, I was supposed to get a little snow next week, too.
Yeah, I think next week's going to be a good week.
You going to hunt?
Of course. I'm going to be cleaning snow, I think, some.
We're not supposed to get that much.
No, well, another story, but yeah, I got it. If we get ice or anything down at the. Yeah. Well, either me or Braden. We'll see which one of us.
Yeah, I think it'll be
We're
Braden.
Flip a coin.
So in this, don't you have seniority?
I do, but it's his week off for hunting, so I can't take that from him.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Maybe it won't be ice down there. We'll be all good to go.
Sounds good.
But
wow.
Anyway, congratulations. That's a great buck.
Much.
I drove by coming back in the afternoon, and I stopped and backed up and looked at the game pole. I was like, that's a good one.
Oh, I'm glad you saw it before we took it down then.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But that was I figured it would be here all week. I was like, well, geez, that's the beginning. Then someone said that was his first deer. And I was like, well, that's a heck of a way to start.
Yeah.
That's one of the nicer racks.
Real nice and even, too.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
And then the one, I didn't see the one that came, I think it was Cabin 5, shot it 2 days ago, or yesterday.
It's kind of a high rack. I don't know if it was a 6 or an 8. It had brow points.
A 7.
7, yeah.
Yep.
They weren't much for brow.
Did anyone ever find out what that one weighed?
That one?
190.
Yeah, 190 even.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. That one even went over 200. Okay.
Yeah, that one was 190.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I was trying to think of what the first week was. That was John Glidden's buck, which it didn't look like it was 200, but what Butchie weighed it like 4 days after he shot it, and it was 200 on the money.
Yeah.
That was a nice buck, too.
Yeah, it looked 200 to me when I looked at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so things are going good. Got one more day left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Guys are hitting it hard tomorrow, right?
Yep. We're gonna go back up there and see if we can find that big guy again. One more day to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Either
You
find
follow him with a camera or something. And
I know. That's what I always think. We could make a little bit of a blog out of this.
That's Steve earlier got his. He videoed his.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw
or
the
not
video.
Steve, but who was here before?
Garrett.
Garrick, yeah.
Yeah.
He filmed his.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had his phone going, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so what else?
I don't know. I think that's it. There's a lot in the last 3 weeks. I keep on thinking back to.
Yeah.
We had so many stories from the last few weeks of
plenty of
hits
action
and misses and good conditions. It was it's kind of weird how the season got started because you never expect to have snow every day for the first week, and the first week was phenomenal conditions.
Was the best conditions of the first week of the season.
And the snow was good.
Yeah,
the whole week. It never got bad. It
Yeah.
never crunched up or anything.
Yeah, all the people that didn't want to come the first week kind of
You never
missed out.
know.
I tell people, now that's 4 out of the last 5 seasons we've had snow for
Yeah.
the first week.
And even the second week was good.
Yeah, it was.
We had snow start off. I had 3 good tracks the
Yeah.
first week. They went out of snow after a while, but still it was good tracking.
You had to hunt higher there this second
Yeah.
week, but yeah, it's been pretty good. But
Third week has been as far as conditions, it's been the toughest, I think.
yeah, but
It's funny, we were here last year and the same week, and I don't think you could have asked for better snow. I
No,
mean, every
right.
night
It was
a
absolutely
nice dusting.
perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
last year was good.
yeah,
Unbelievable.
Third
last
week.
year the 3rd and 4th week was good. But
You almost have to, if you're looking at booking the hunt, you almost have to base it on, because the timing that, the deer are doing the same thing every week basically
yeah,
as far as their rut. And if you're fortunate enough to get snow, you get it. If you know what I mean, but next year, I was actually looking at the calendar today, like you were saying earlier.
flips ahead again.
Yeah.
So the
And it's gonna
season
be-
starts late. So I think it'll start like November 4th. So if
I think
you
that's
guys
what it
come
was,
the 3rd
right.
week again, you'll be, be right into the peak of the rut again.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that's the biggest difference with, hunting the way you hunt. Obviously, with snow, you're going to be tracking, so it doesn't matter. It's just a matter of how hard it is to find a track.
Yeah.
Whereas stand hunters is where it really, this week for a stand hunter is,
Yeah.
I think,
Week.
a little bit, well, yes and no. I think that the bucks are, they're not moving quite as much because they're once they find their doe.
Yeah, but if you get around, that don't matter, because if you get around where the does are, you just have to change up a little bit
hunt
where
the
you're
does.
sitting, maybe hunt the does and get around them. Because
Yeah.
even the bucks, there might be a buck that's got a doe somewhere, but all the other ones are still looking, So, yeah. Yeah, so we'll, we should do this again the end of next week and wrap up the season.
I feel like we haven't. The hunting season's been going on. We had moose season and deer season.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It seems like. Oh, Lee got a deer too.
Oh, yeah, that's
badly.
right. Yeah, and
He'll probably pop over sometime and.
yeah, since we've done
Talk
the
about it.
podcast, let's see. Neil got a nice one in New Hampshire. Neil's leading the buck pool so far with a
He's going to be a tough one to beat.
232 with about 140-inch rack he shot with in New Hampshire. Muzzleloader, I think, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yep. And
Then he came up here and he let one go.
Yep.
Nice buck.
yeah, and then Mikey, old guide Mike, shot his buck the second week,
Yep.
and I shot mine, and then
I think the first day of the second week.
Yep.
He shot it.
And then Bad Lee shot his buck, was it this week?
Monday.
Monday.
Yep.
That's
He
right.
shot it this past Monday.
Last Monday. His was one nice 8-pointer. It was 193. So, yeah.
Good season.
Good season. We finally got the pants. Got to announce that. So now we've got everything again. We finally
All
got, actually tonight, we got some more gloves, and that's going to be.
I want to talk about the pants.
You mean your,
'Cause I was the first-
your
I-
pajamas?
I was the first one to be able to use them, and I'm going to tell you, I didn't think they make that much of a difference being lighter. I mean, unless it's really cold, I wouldn't go to the 22 ounce anymore. Those 18s are it. Put on a base layer,
Yeah.
and they are so comfortable.
Yeah. It's
Like the big ones, especially on a day like tomorrow, it's supposed to rain tomorrow. You know, one of those days you get soaked out there and your wool gets heavy.
Yeah.
I think they'd be especially good for that. But they're just super comfortable. I'm real happy with them.
Yeah, I finally got mine hemmed them myself, and
That's up for video of the year, by the way.
Is it?
Yep, your sewing video.
Yeah, I got a brand new pair of suspendies for them, and I wore them a couple days. I think I didn't wear them until this beginning of this week. I had my old ones on when I shot my buck, and then I got over Sunday, I think, is when I got them hemmed, and I've worn them a couple of days earlier in the week with Ryland, and that's all I've worn them. But I think I'm going to get a pair of the 24 ounce too for the cold weather, you know. And have 2 pair. But
that was the only thing we didn't do is mark them on the inside, the weight.
Yeah, we're going to have to
change that.
We're going to have to do that. I think we should probably do it on the tags or something so people know it, so they don't get mixed in, you know, people handling. Yeah.
But we got a lot of stuff in. Finally, we got all of our stuff in stock, but it's going out so fast now that.
Chris told me, I talked to him yesterday morning, he said we got to start getting going with some more jackets, you know.
Yeah.
So.
And great reviews back on the jackets too. Everyone that's using them.
Oh yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot.
Yeah, appreciate everybody that's bought them, and so like again, we got the pants, we got a few gloves in, and that's all we're going to have until summer. We can only really we put a big order in once a year for them, but just ordered tracking cards to be made, so we'll have them in probably a month. Have them for the shows this winter.
Oh, the little cards you carry with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's got to work on the deer calls because the company that was extruding them's got the dies to extrude them, so that's another little thing we got to check into. But anyway, enough about that. We're rolling along, and things are going good.
Yeah. Well, congratulations again, guys.
Thank you,
That's
guys.
great.
Thank you for having me on.
Yes, thank you for everything, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Look forward to having you guys back next year. Well, hey, you still got tomorrow, too. You got 3 tags right in your group. So
That's
there
right.
you go.
Pressure's
yeah,
on.
they got more than that. There's 8 of them all together.
True. Oh, 8 of them. That's right. I keep on thinking it's just 4 of you, but
yeah, big crew, half of Rhode Island here. So
Chris, be proud.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, anyways, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you support our sponsors, and till next time, good luck on the trail.
Hi everyone, team member Mark Sheeran here. I've been helping people solve their addictions for the last 34 years. In 2017, we published the revolutionary non-12-step book, The Freedom Model for Addictions. If you'd like a free paperback copy sent directly to you, go to freebook.freedommodel.org. That's freebook.freedommodel.org. All right, take care.
Hey guys, Joe here. Wanted to take a few minutes to talk about Lake Parlin Lodge. We're a 4-season lodge located just south of Jackman. We've got cabins, lodge rooms, mini lodge. We're a big snowmobile destination in the winter, full restaurant, bar, all the amenities that you need for your trip. Open obviously through the summer, right on the lake. Kayaks, canoes, all included with the cabin. We also do a lot of weddings, so if you're looking for a destination wedding, we can do a wedding up to 200 people. And of course, we've got our hunting season, moose season, deer season. So check us out. We're at lakeparlinlodge.com.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Till next time, good luck on the trail.